The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors. Lighting for ECAT production provided by the Avery Lee Williams Family Foundation.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time in December. I cannot believe we are now in December. I hope you guys all had a super Thanksgiving. I had a better one than I expected, and I guess I'll have to be happy with that. And today we're going to the beautiful packed northwest coast of Oregon. We have an awesome young lady, singer, songwriter. Her name is Addison, and we're gonna hear and see a music video of hers about halfway through the show. But of course, before we get to her, I've got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we have 876 Eats and Pizza in Taunton. We have Gregory Scott Jewelers in Middleborough. We have New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We have One Good Credit in Brockton. We have Brian's Barbershop in Kingston. We have Lynch's Towing Auto Cycle and Truck Center in Brockton. One number for towing, one number for projects. My pal Lynchy there is always in search of new scrap metal wheels, anything to do with transportation. He handles it all. In Brockton, we have Johnny Macaroni's Restaurants, 3 locations, 2 in East Bridgewater, 1 in Halifax. We have the Riverside Cafe in Wareham. They make the best breakfast from Boston to the Cape. They're open 6 days a week, all except Wednesday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., and they have DoorDash delivery. We have Tom Auto in Middleborough. We have Carter Trucking in Bridgewater. We have Fun Factory in Bridgewater. Great to have them back. We have Auto Clinic and Inspection in Rockland. We have Pizza Time in Norton. Great to have them back. We have a new one, Multi-Corte Barbershop in Brockton. Multi-Corte Barbershop in Brockton. We have Eli's Auto Care in Taunton. We have Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We have Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We have Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. We have RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. We have DNS Auto Works and Collision Specialists in Abington on Route 58. We have Evan Young Realty. That's my brother, the realtor. We have Countertops Express in North Attleboro, experts in the installation and removal of quartz and granite. We have Haven Psychiatric Services right here in the building in room 211, and we have Joe's Diner in Taunton. And I want to thank all you guys very much. And now, Addison, Faith, how you doing? You look lovely. It looks like a nice studio you have there in your house. And
yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
nervous.
I understand. It's cool. I understand. I know you're 15 and you're a high school sophomore, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
And from what I understand, from what I've seen and heard, you're an awesome young musician, and we're going to cover all that. We're going to talk about your inspirations. We're going to talk about your your paths to greatness, where they led you so far, and where they'll be leading you in the future. You're quite young now, and you have now. It looks like I'm looking at you, and you have 2 guitars, one on your right, one on your left. Right? Is correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to it piques my curiosity. Can you explain each guitar and then tell me what the difference is?
This one is a 12-string. This is a Taylor. I knew that. My uncle got it for me. This is the first 12-string I've ever gotten.
Okay.
I wanted one for so long.
All right.
This one, me and my dad were lucky to get from a music store here in town in Newburgh. We told him that I was working to become a musician and all that.
Okay.
And we got it for really cheap. I'm not sure what the deal was, but we got it for a great deal. It was just really, really generous of the owner.
Okay. Hope it's not hot. I'm just kidding. I said, I'm just kidding. I said, I hope it's not hot. Yeah, you gotta have a little fun here, making a little funny here, joking here. All right, that's good. They're very nice, and so you've obviously learned on more than one, and you like the fact that you can play more than one. All right, well, let's talk about what I do with every guest. Now you're pretty young. You're only 15. You're 50 years younger than I am, and you were probably born the year before I started the show. So what I like to find out though is how long you've been doing music. When did you start? What got you into it, and then we'll take it from there. I'll ask questions as I see fit. So let's go with that.
I've just been doing it for as long as I've known anything, I've known music, if
Okay.
that makes sense. I mean,
Yes, it does.
even as a kid, I can remember the first time I ever came up with even a melody. I was sitting on the couch. I was very, very young.
Okay.
And I was just humming and I would play guess the song on the bus rides to school, which was really just my excuse to sing to people.
Okay.
I would sing in church when I was younger. I've been in choir since sixth grade.
Okay.
I've in musicals. I just do whatever I can to perform
Right.
any chance I get,
Okay. Yes, I understand. Now, how many have you been in any talent shows?
I don't think that I have.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, would you ever think of entering one, because it might give you a lot of good exposure? Just a thought.
Definitely. When I was little, when I was in elementary school, I would imagine myself going on America's Got Talent because I would lay with my dad on the couch when I was a little kid, and we would watch America's Got Talent. And I really, really wanted, like Grace Vanderwall, if you know who she is, I really just wanted to be like her. I
Okay.
got a ukulele before I even got a guitar,
Okay.
and I started writing on that first.
Well, see, that's the way to get there. You want to get into a small talent show, and then they get bigger.
Yeah.
Make a good impression on a smaller group of judges, and then you get bigger judges. That's all. That's who did you just name now? Who's the big host? America's Got Talent. Gwen Stefani. Is that who you said?
Oh no, I said Grace Vanderwall.
Oh, Grace Vanderpool. Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know the name, not as well as the other names that the people. Okay, so she's an inspiration to you, I guess, right?
Oh, well, yeah, she was. I think other big inspirations I've had are people like Taylor Swift. I mean, I was really, really obsessed with Taylor Swift. I have almost all of her CDs.
Yep. Okay.
Noah Kahan, he makes folk music, and
I know. I listen to the radio every day. I know all the artists. It's a lot harder today than it used to be. When I was in high school, the artists were easy to name, but today there's so many new ones, and there's so many collaborations. It's hard to keep track. So
yeah,
then
I think it's a lot harder today too to get into the industry because so many people can.
Exactly.
So many people have that opportunity, which makes it easier in a sense, I guess. But
well, sooner or later you're gonna get your name in there too. That's what we want. We want to hear you.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I think it'll happen.
I know it'll happen. Okay, yeah, because you're very talented, and you've been doing this now. What year? How old were you? Now you started singing in elementary school to your classmates, and then you were in the choirs at church. Is that what it was?
Choir in school.
It's choir in school. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now you mentioned church though. What about there? What about the choir at church? I'm just wondering. Did you do both?
No, I sang in church when I was little, but that's about it.
Oh, okay, but was that in a choir or just by yourself?
Well, when church sessions happen, you stand up in the pews, you sing along to the songs.
Okay, so it's a sort of a choir. It's like you sing with other
Yeah.
people. All right, but you weren't really in the choir. You were just singing with other people. It wasn't considered a choir.
Yeah. I sing in musicals though. I was in the musical recently this fall.
Okay.
It was The Lightning Thief. I played Sally Jackson, which is Percy's mom. I sang a song called Strong.
Okay.
Which was really, really a great opportunity for me.
I know you were talking about that. All right. Now this was a musical, and you were the lead role in it, right?
Not necessarily a lead, but I had my own. I had a song with the main character.
Okay.
It was fantastic. It was really a great opportunity for me.
Of course. And this was at your school?
Oh, yeah, no, it was at my school, and it was just incredible to sing in front of, because the theater program at my school is pretty big and pretty well known, and it was incredible to sing in front of a crowd like that. I mean,
of course. Yeah.
To sing my own songs in front of a crowd like that I cannot imagine how incredible that would be.
Yeah, I know. Imagine how many students were there at your school that you sang in front of?
I'm not sure.
Probably more than a few
over
hundred, right?
1,000 people come, to the musical, like in its entirety every night. We had full houses. It was just insane.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I bet you had so you're right. So the fact is that you couldn't count the number of heads. So obviously there were a lot of people. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And now, have you ever done, now as far as like local media in your area, have you ever been on the radio? Have you ever done any, I mean, I asked about about entering a talent show, but have you ever like, do you have any like radio stations there that might want to hear, something you could play? There are some radio stations now that allow people, just to come in and play their songs on their station. We have one right here in my area called Almost Famous. Now, I'm just wondering if you have something like that in your area.
Not that I know of, but I
Okay.
know that I have been played on radio stations in Texas.
Okay, all right. We haven't been on the radio yet, right?
No, not
Okay.
not my own radio.
Right, all right. Well, what about, do you have an agent at all? I know your father and your uncle represent you, but have you ever,
Yeah, I don't have any agent yet. No.
okay, all right. Well, it'll come in time. I mean, you're still young yet. You're 15 and you
Yeah,
got a lot to-
completely. I think that the idea of that is a little bit scary to me because it's so easy to be taken advantage of.
Oh, I know.
having
You definitely have to, well, that's why they're looking out for you, so you're not
Yeah.
scammed. I know.
Having my family do it is just incredible
Yeah.
because there's like I can trust them on a deeper level than I can with an agent, I think.
Right. Okay. No, that's smart. You can't take, you don't want to like overextend yourself. You want to make sure that you want to cross the I's, dot the T's, and whatever you do, dot the I's, cross the T's, make sure that everything gets done,
Yeah.
one step at a time. All right. Well, now you've been working. What the song Wildflowers? We're going to hear that about halfway through. We're almost there. What inspired you to write that? I listened to it. It's very nice. It's closed captioned. Is that that's kind of like your philosophy of life, I guess, right?
Well, I lived in a small town called
Right.
Malino pretty much my entire life
Okay.
until here. And I lived in this house and we had 6 acres of land.
Wow.
And it was like living in the middle of a forest, it was beautiful.
Yep.
And living here, I mean, I don't even have much of a backyard, which, I mean, we had a river in my backyard. I miss the trees. I miss going outside, and I would make these like mud balls when I was a kid.
Wow.
And now, you don't see kids doing that here. Nobody's playing outside. Nobody's, it's just.
Wow. Okay. Why did you move? I'm just wondering now that you mentioned it. I didn't realize that.
I don't know. It just happened, I guess, circumstance. I think that I've grown to love it here, definitely. But
Okay.
part of my heart will always live in my small town in Malino.
Okay. So basically, it's your memories of living in that other town that prompted you to write the song.
Yeah, completely. I mean, I want trees and wildflowers to waste my hours. But
I agree. I love them too. You got to have. Looks like you got a painting of them right behind you.
yeah, yeah,
Those look like wildflowers. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I know. I mean, when you sing a song, people like are listening to it and they're trying to glean your meaning and try to relate to it. That's why. I mean, a lot of people, girls of your age, if they're writing music, they're writing about bad breakups, they're writing about stuff like that. Yours was completely just internal, had nothing to do with anything that's unpleasant. It was just a memory and how it affected you.
I've definitely written songs about relationships
Oh,
and
you
stuff.
have? Okay. Well,
Yes,
okay.
but the songs that speak the most to me, I feel, are the songs that are about myself.
Of course.
And I think anybody can write a song about anybody else, but it takes a lot to write a song about yourself and to sing a song about yourself and to sing a song about what you've had and what you've lost. And I think that I had it, and I never appreciated it when I had it. I always wanted to just leave. And now that I have, I miss it.
Wow.
And I think that that's really about that.
Okay, I get it. That's real deep. Well, you know what? We're about halfway. Speaking of that, we're about halfway through the show, and right now we're going to watch Addison Faye's beautiful sounding and looking music video, Wildflowers, and we'll be right back to discuss it. So stay tuned, and we'll talk about it when we come back.
I just saw beneath my bones, found an empty road and called it home. For trees and wildflowers to waste my hours with Coke's nostalgia and me. You can't expect to swim if you never sink. I trees and wildflowers to waste my hours. I just saw beneath my bones, found an empty road and called it home. I yearn for trees and wildflowers to waste my hours. Waves, cokes, nostalgia out of me. You can't expect to swim if you never sink. I yearn for trees and wildflowers to waste my hours. Stolen wedding invitations through the holes of our old vents. Sometimes when I see a dandelion, I wish I never left. And I still believe in good and believing in that. Though I know that it's over now, my memories an untamed land. I just soak beneath my bones, searched for empty roads and called them home. I yearn for trees and wildflowers to waste my hours. Waves, cokes, nostalgia out of me. You can't expect to swim if you never sink. I yearn for trees and wildflowers to waste my hours. Lemon balm bushes and old wicker hats. In the back of my mind, I know there's no going back. But sometimes when I'm feeling in the mood for missing, I turn on an old song and I see it again. I just sink beneath my bones, search for empty roads and call them home. I yearn for trees and wildflowers to waste my hours. Waves, cokes, nostalgia out of me. You can't expect to swim if you never sink. I yearn for trees and wildflowers to waste my hours. Oh, with an old book and an old home and a girl that I used to know. With an old book and an old home and a girl that I used to know. With an old book and an old home and a girl that I used to know. I used to know. I used to know. And I just sink beneath my bones, search for empty roads and call them home. I yearn for trees and wildflowers to waste my hours. Familiarity's a scar that still bleeds, and the stinging sensation of not how you used to be. Yearn for trees and wildflowers to waste my hours. Trees and wildflowers and wildflowers and wildflowers.
Oh, Addison, oh, it was great. What a beautiful song that is. And it's yours. All your music is pretty much original, right?
Yeah, everything. I don't use any co-writers.
It's completely
really.
original. You don't have any covers.
Write
Everything
all
is
of my
yours.
songs my own. I write all of the chord progressions. I do all of that myself.
Okay. Wow. Awesome. Okay, that is so cool. Where do you, but you're working on, you have a studio, I mean, do you have a studio in your house where you produce videos? Or do you have other people help you besides your uncle and your father?
I've gone to studios before. I'm not sure quite the names of them.
Okay.
But I've gone to two, and I don't know. It's so insane to be inside of a studio and recording. Like, you know, you see these pictures of these real established artists
Yep.
recording in studios, and then you're there and you're standing next to the mic and you're singing your song, and someone has your song on a big old computer, and it's insane. I mean, really,
I
it's
know, of course, but
crazy.
I know it's overwhelming because you think, how did I get, I mean, what am I doing here? I mean, you see all they make it look easy. All the stars, you know, Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo, and Taylor Swift, of course, and
Yeah.
and you know, and you realize that, you know, you're working your way toward that end, and you gotta get through a lot of stuff before you do it, and it's not always easy. It's, you know, there are struggles. Life is full of stuff, no matter what, no matter who we are,
Yeah.
no matter how fit, no matter.
Completely.
But the great thing about what you can do is that you can take an idea about a struggle or anything, and you can turn it into you know, a work of art with music, and that's a rare gift that you have.
Yeah.
Eh?
I think that it's very humanizing to my music. I think
Yeah,
that,
absolutely.
I mean, a lot of these stars, some of them started rich, some of them they were child stars.
Yep.
They were established before they started producing music,
And
and
they're actors too, perhaps a lot of them were.
yeah, I mean, I act in school plays. That's really all I've done.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. So that's a lot, though. I mean, the fact that you're willing to get up on stage and coagulate with other people, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. So and so what have you done? Have you ever done any modeling? I'm just wondering to what extent have you done any, and you know, any extracurricular activities that are going to get you noticed? I'm just curious. Anything with physical, like athletics, playing sports, anything like that? You ever done any?
No, I don't think so.
It's just-
I just pretty much theater and choir, and that's really it, I think.
Okay. Have you ever been in a band before?
A band, like
Yeah. Have you ever
no,
been in a band with
not
with
like
other musicians?
I mean, I was in the school band for like a week, but they didn't have enough drums for me to play, so I had to quit. It was awful.
It was? You didn't like the band, really?
No, I did
Okay,
not.
then you're a solo artist. Now we've established it. So you're not going to be in a band, at least anytime soon. But it could
Yeah.
happen. You never know.
Maybe, you never say never.
Well, don't shut the door on the opportunity. If somebody says to you, if a group of people have they're looking for a beautiful female songstress with a great voice, and they think you have what it takes, at least give them a chance. And they say, "Well, you want to audition for us?"
sure.
then, yeah, and especially if you can collaborate with the writing. I mean, that's part of the game too. You might.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
I think that I could never produce music that I didn't at least help write,
Yes, exactly.
I need to. I can't make music if I'm not making music, if that makes sense.
And how much time a week do you spend writing? I mean, pretty much every day?
Oh yeah, completely. I
Wow.
think that people ask me, like, how do you write so many songs? How do you get your lyrics out? And it's like breathing to me, I don't have an answer because I can't ask you, how do you breathe?
Right.
That's just, it comes naturally. It's instinct. And I take life and I put out lyrics the same way that a person takes in oxygen and puts out carbon dioxide.
That's
That's
perfect.
it.
Boy, you obviously probably got an A in science too, knowing that.
Oh, no.
No? Okay, we don't have to talk about your GPA
okay.
if you don't want to. That's up to you.
Yeah, you know what? It's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Okay. But I imagine that the students at the kids at your school must be very impressed with what you've accomplished. You're probably considered the most musical pupil at your school, right? Pretty close?
Yeah, I mean, me and my friends, I think we're very musical people. I mean, especially with singing wise, I'm in the top choir, which, I mean, as a freshman, I was one of 3 freshmen to get in, not to brag.
Go ahead and brag. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I was one of the 3 freshmen to get in that year. It was just.
And then you had the musical this year, right? When did you do your musical? Just this fall?
Yeah, it was in November.
Okay, last month. Perfect. Okay. So it's obviously you're heading on a path to stardom. There's no question about it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. That's cool.
That's
Now,
the goal.
have you ever considered maybe teaching music? I mean, at your age, it's probably a little early to consider that, but at some point you might want to. I mean,
if I ever figure out music theory, I would love to be somebody who's like a choir teacher. I mean, I've had these choir teachers and I've looked up to them so much, and
Okay.
to be that person for students, that would be incredible to me.
Yeah, you'd be great. I mean, and you'll be over the, and then sooner or later you'll be out there signing autographs. Where have you performed outside of? Have you ever performed outside of your state, or just pretty much in Oregon so far?
No, just in Oregon. I've never actually been very much of anywhere. I've been to Washington and I've been to Oregon, and that's about it.
Washington State or D.C.?
Washington State.
Okay, yeah, you're bored because you're the neighbor to they're right near you. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you're gonna branch out, you're gonna venture off, and you're gonna.
Oh, that's the goal.
It's
Definitely.
the goal, yeah. And you're gonna go, you're gonna get your name out there, and people are gonna know who you are, and it'll be awesome. And I just suggest you keep doing what you're doing. Try to get as much press coverage for what you work for your music as possible. Keep your grades up as good as possible. Don't let your music distract you too much.
Completely, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, Addison, I hope you had fun talking to me. We're under 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, it's incredible to talk about my music to anybody who will listen.
Well, why wouldn't everyone should listen? Well, then you got to let your music do the talking. You you don't have to talk about it. Just continue making it, and everybody will know about it. I guarantee you. That's you're well on your way to that.
Yeah.
So, okay. So listen, Addison, what I want you to do in the remaining time, I want you to give a few shouts out to people that are going to see the show, including your father, your uncle, and then.
Yeah. My dad, definitely. To
Okay.
my uncle. To my friends, Cammie, Jaden, Blake, Delilah. They've just been so kind. Listening to my music, and they we call sometimes, and I'll play my guitar, and they listen and they read my lyrics. They let me explain it. They come to every single show of mine. It's incredible to have.
Okay,
people never find people like that, and I found them.
You're very lucky. Where are your shows mostly though? Just around the town, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. All right. Well, if you had fun with me, and you know anybody else that might want to be a guest on my show, and we're going to have you back because they told me you're producing another album coming up in January, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes, and if you want to come back, we can definitely do that, and you can perform. We can have the YouTube link going. Now, here's the thing. I love having musical guests. Like I told your father and your uncle, it's not always easy to get a good live sound from someone performing live at a remote location.
Oh, yeah.
But if you ever want to travel, I know it's a trip, but if you ever want to come east and do the show in person, we have a very nice platform here. You can perform live.
That would be incredible. That would be seriously incredible.
I mean, it all depends on on your funds and everything, what you have available. Okay. Now, what I'm going to ask that we're going to wrap the show up in a minute. Would you stick around and let my tech guy take a pic for Facebook? And I don't know if are you on Facebook? Addison Faith Music.
My dad runs my music account.
What's that? I'll send it to you. I'll tag him in it, and then if he wants to tag me, that would be great.
All right.
All right. Before we wrap the show up, do you have anything aside from that album that you're trying to produce by January 1st? Is there anything else coming up that you want to mention? I just want to make sure we cover everything. If not, that's fine. But I just want to. I always check with everybody.
I think that's about it. I forgot to thank my Newburgh friends. That's
okay. All right. Well, good. I'm glad I extended it because now you got all your friends and everybody's.
Yeah, completely. I'm so appreciative.
And I'm sure they appreciate you too. All right, Addison, we're going to wrap the show up. You can snap along with me if you want, just like we did at the beginning. And
I can't hear the music, but it's okay.
Yeah, you like my this is my music. All right, folks, we're wrapping up another great Topic Time episode. See you next time. Snapping off and rolling out.
Lighting for ECAT production provided by the Avery Lee Williams Family Foundation.